Oh boy, I'm excited. Yeah, this week the pop charts have dumped a little something different on our plates, and I couldn't be happier. That's right. Put on your cowboy boots and crack open an ice cold beer. We're gonna be looking at some country music today. Yeah! Don't usually drink beer. Someone get me a Mike's Hard Lemonade. Okay, I think I mentioned this before, but I used to listen to a lot of country music. Now that was back in the 90s when I was a kid, and I still check in on country music every now and then, but me and it lost touch right around the same time I discovered everything else in the world. And so I'm not really up to date on country music as a whole. I used to know every Brooks and Dunn song backwards and forwards, but nowadays I can't really tell a Brad Paisley from a Dierks Bentley. One thing I have noticed though is that these days country music is skewing way younger. And this used to be a genre for adults, for better or for worse, and it still is in many respects, but a lot of it, the crossover stuff especially, is directed at a much younger crowd. The male artists all look like jeans models, the female artists are all like blonde and tan and 19. Everyone has just gotten much, much prettier. Look, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, today. You see the difference? Yeah, Nashville still makes songs about blue collars and booze and gosh, we love family and America and all that, but it has to make room for a lot more stuff about boys and blue jeans and butterflies and so on. And if we're going to talk about country's trend towards the teeny bopper, we got to talk about the pretty pink pony princess of them all, Taylor Swift. Drew looks at me. Taylor Swift is one of the most successful country artists in history precisely because no one speaks to teenage girls like she does. I've bagged on her before for her ridiculous, sheltered, girly teenagerness, but there's a genuineness to her that forgives a lot of her flaws. She believes what she's selling. The only time when I really found her Taylor-ness grating is when she put on pretensions of wisdom in 15. But she has a sincerity about her that is impossible to fake, which is why there's not really been anyone who's been able to duplicate her success so far. But that hasn't stopped people from trying. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the band Perry. The way you lie. Newcomers to the country scene, the band Perry are a brothers and sister group consisting of Neil, Reed, and the lovely blonde Kimberly. Yes, of course she's a Kimberly. These fine, upstanding-looking men and women released their debut album last year and have thus far charted 4 singles off it, the biggest of which, If I Die Young, reached #1 on the country charts last December. Lord, make me a rainbow, I'll shine down on my mother. Now, for the most part, the band Perry seem like your standard mixed-gender country band like Lady Antebellum or Sugarland or Little Big Town, but their biggest song, If I Die Young, is definitely trying to take its chunk out of the Taylor Swift fanbase. I touched on this song briefly in a video I made back in January, and I didn't think I'd have the opportunity to do a full review of it. Oddly enough, though, the song is just now starting to catch fire on pop radio, time enough for the band Perry to have released 2 singles in the meantime. Now, I'm not sure why it took so long to take off, nor do I understand why such an oddly morbid song is the country song that caught on with the public. Sink me in the river at dawn, send me away with the words of a... Now, I admit, the Taylor Swift comparison isn't perfect. You'll never see Miss Swift tackling as deep a subject as the tragedy of an early death. But I'll tell you this, I do not consider this song a very serious, considered take on mortality. But let you come to your own conclusions. Go ahead, Perrys. If I die young, bury me in satin, lay me down on a bed of roses, sink me in the river at dawn, send me away with the words of a love song. Jeez, picky. You know, funeral arrangements are expensive, right? And this especially, all this, not gonna be cheap. But you know what? You want to bankrupt your family so that you can have a bitchin' farewell service? Go right ahead. It's your funeral. Literally. Let me just, get all this down. If I die young, bury me in satin. Ah yes, the touch, the feel of satin. The fabric of our... well, lives is not the word. But, gotcha. Go on. Lay me down on a bed of roses. Gotta make some floral arrangements. Check. Sink me in the river at dawn. Want the old cinder blocks around the ankles treatment. Gotcha. Okay, what order did you want all this in? Like, I gotta bury you, I'm guessing on a bed of roses, and then what did you want here? I'd dig you up out of the ground and then sink you in the river? Like, did you want all that on the same day? Because if we sink you in the river at dawn, then the entire rest of the service has to happen before sunrise, which is not optimal. Yeah, this is a lot of steps. You really sure all this is necessary? Jeez. Okay, what was that last part?
Send me away with the words of a love song.
Can do.
I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you.
Oh, sorry, is that inappropriate? Just, I got a little distracted trying to get all those other details in order. Should probably be a little more clear. Just one thing, before I, order the dress and the roses and rent a dock on the river, I gotta ask a question. Are you actually dying?
Who would have thought forever could be severed by the sharp knife of a short life?
Do you have any reason to believe that you might die young? Do you have cancer or something? Because you don't mention anything, and without that, this all seems a little weightless and disconnected and meandering. Do you lead a dangerous lifestyle, maybe? Because seeing as you're a Caucasian female, the group with the single longest life expectancy of any demographic, I can't imagine why you would expect to die young. Or is she suicidal? Well, I guess that could be it. Maybe she has an abusive or unloving family.
Lord, make me a rainbow, I'll shine down on my mother. She'll know I'm safe with you when she stands under my colors.
She seems to speak pretty fondly of her mom, so I guess not that. Well, then I bet it's issues with boys. It always is.
I've never known the loving of a man.
Yep, see, virgin. There you go. She's all depressed and shit because she'll never find someone who really loves her.
Never known the loving of a man, but it sure felt nice when he was holding my hand. There's a boy here in town says you'll love me forever. Who would have thought?
No, not that then either. Geez, future looks pretty good for this chick. What's she being all doom and gloom about?
If I die young, bury me inside.
So, like, I guess she just wants to leave a good-looking corpse. I mean, that's why this is all about dying young. If she lived to a ripe old age, I'm sure she wouldn't bother. Because, like, what's the point? No one cares when you're old. If I die old, bury me in garbage. Like, lay me down on a bed of roaches, because it doesn't even matter. I mean, seriously, at least Taylor Swift only planned her wedding. What kind of chick fantasizes about their funeral? Why would someone write this? I don't get it.
A penny for my thoughts, oh no, I'll sell them for $1. They're worth so much more after I'm a goner, and maybe then you'll hear the words I've been singing. Funny when you're dead, how people start listening.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it now. See, there's the whole reason that song exists. I get exactly why this was written. Yeah, because we all went through that phase. Hell, I went through that phase. I'm not gonna lie to you. Go away, I'm busy! Go away! If I were dead, they'd all listen to me. Blink-182, you understand my pain. God, I was such a whiny little brat all those 10 months ago when that was filmed. But that's entirely the same mindset this song is written under. And that's why she plans her funeral like it's her sweet 16. This isn't about fear of death or sadness about death or making peace with death, contemplating death. No, it's about fantasizing about death.
Funny when you're dead.
At that point, this song stops being a bittersweet contemplation of life cut short, and it starts being about turning death into a selfish fantasy about being the center of attention. And it's a stupid fantasy at that.
Funny when you're dead, how people start listening.
Yeah, funny. Actually, no, it's really not funny. Or true, for that matter. I mean, some people's thoughts are re-examined after they die, but not many. Lots of people die and no one cares who they are or what they had to say.
Scott Jackson worked for an internet company in Santa Cruz. He won a sales prize. Sorry I kept calling you Steve, man. Amen, I guess.
Now, people start listening to dead people when they had something of value to impart to the living. And I'm not convinced that the narrator of this song is going to leave behind anything but a live journal full of bad poetry and doodles of unicorns. Oh my god, people actually start paying attention to all my deep thoughts, like that, like wars and stuff are bad, shouldn't happen, and it's sad when puppies die, and that Heather was like totally a mean girl bitch, and that Bobby was totally stupid to be dating her in the first place, but you can totally tell he's gonna leave Emily and go back to her, which is like totally retarded. Oh my god, I can't wait to be dead, it's gonna be awesome. Check this out. Someone in charge of the music video even threw in the hilariously pretentious touch of throwing in a reference to a Tennyson poem. You know what? I went ahead and read The Lady of Shalott. Yep, I read poetry. Just what I do, because I'm smart. And I guess it makes sense in that The Lady of Shalott is about a woman who dies on a river, but on a deeper thematic level it doesn't work at all because she dies barely mourned and completely unappreciated. So it doesn't make any sense that this is about The Lady of Shalott because they don't really have any thematic similarities. But it makes perfect sense that this is about some chick who wants poetry written about her. That I buy without question. And that is, unfortunately, all I hear in this, just adolescent self-absorption. And it doesn't help that I already feel like her lyrics are just clumsy to begin with.
They're worth so much more after I'm a goner, and
Well, golly, Cletus, she's a goner!
I'll be wearing white when I come into your kingdom. I'm as green as the ring on my little cold finger.
Does she mean green like young, not ripe? Or does she mean like literally green and decomposing? I honestly prefer to believe the latter and make it a lot less cutesy and precious. Also, green ring? Why? What a weird detail to include. Is she a Green Lantern?
So put on your best boys and I'll wear my pearls.
Yeah, sure, lady. Dying young is all about rainbows and nice dresses and jewelry. No, this is a piece of maudlin emo crap, directed at teenagers out there too old for Hannah Montana, but not disaffected enough for Hot Topic. Although I feel a little bad picking on this song. I guess it's a little unfair to expect much more than this out of Miss Perry. I don't know what insights into life and death I was expecting her to have at the tender age of... Wait, what? What? Are you kidding? Holy shit, that's older than I am! If you die young? Hell, lady, you're running out of time! Please tell me you found this song in like a 10-year-old diary of yours. Like, what was all that shit about never knowing a man's touch? Oh, how did anyone above the age of high school write this? I'm flabbergasted. What the hell was this? Oh, I'm sorry, this song just went from bad to inexcusable. I can't believe they put this out. This is ass. You know what, lady? If you die young, I'm gonna make sure that you get buried in a refrigerator box next to Scruffles, your pet hamster in the yard. What are you gonna do about it? You're dead! Deal with it!